A lot of problems.
And good morning and welcome to the WSJM video live stream morning show for, what is it, Monday, July 28th already?
It is.
Holy mackerel. Here, you moved. You guys moved.
We have not moved.
We didn't move.
No.
You moved because you're looking that way. Usually you look this way.
I know.
No, you're fine. Stay where you're at.
You told me to move.
No, I know, but you moved more. Anyway, good morning.
I'm sure Sheriff Heit would prefer me to give him a little space rather than.
Oh, that's why you moved. Okay, now. Very good. What?
We could.
No, you're doing fine. You're doing fine.
Thanks.
Berrien County Sheriff Chuck Heit is here. Good morning.
Good
Welcome.
morning.
Special guest in the studio.
Pleased to be here.
We appreciate you coming into the studio. And one of the things that you were doing last week was telling us about a tool that has recently been updated on the Berrien County website. And we'll talk about that this hour if you don't mind.
Sure.
And you mentioned it's one of the most popular lookups on Berrien County's websites. Explain just a little bit. What is it?
Yeah, so it's an inmate search tool. So it's on obviously the Berrien County Sheriff's website, our office website, also on the county. We've heard over years it's second to the Silver Beach camera during the summertime. So people love to see what the weather is and the beautiful beach, but it is something that's used a great deal. I hear about a lot if it's down or not working or the issues we have.
I've been pestering you.
But which is good. But we did have a technology upgrade. The company we use we call it Offender Management System, OMS, is what maintains all of our the database for that. They upgraded a search tool, but we also thought it was important to still be able to do it by date. So there is two ways on the website to be able to find it. If you know the name, going to inmate search right away is pretty easy to use. Yeah. And then some people still like to search by the date. And we made sure we've kept that available as well.
Yeah, no, and we appreciate it, and we appreciate the updates on it. One of the things that obviously we do as a news organization, we got to keep an eye on what's happening, and part of what's happening is who's getting booked into the Berrien County Jail. And I think it was December of last year, there was something that the connection broke, or it was updated, or something happened that you couldn't see who was charged with what. But now you have full access to that.
Yeah, so with the new upgrade, it's the full, like you said, upgrade that from our OMS system. The other one was kind of an internal that was developed when we first went to, the company that does that. So you could always do it by date, but we were missing some information. So we've tried to update that. For transparency, we always say too that a charge is merely an accusation. People are presumed innocent until proven guilty. So, but it is, something that's transparent, and a lot of people use it. So you've mentioned in yours, we've got other people work-wise, maybe probation, parole officers. We'll check on a daily basis just to see who may have been arrested. So it's used a lot. Yeah.
And I don't know if you've seen Facebook, but sometimes there are these police groups, watch groups, the citizens who are what was that siren? What was that siren?
I try and avoid those.
Probably good. Probably wise on your part. All right. We'll talk a little bit more about that. The Offender Management System. Is that what it's called? OMS?
Yes, OMS. Yep. Offender Management System.
We'll also talk about a trip you made last week with a machine gun.
Yes.
How cool is that?
Yeah,
does have a really cool case. We'll talk about it in a second. Don't spoil it.
We'll do that.
We'll do that right here on the WSJM Morning Show. We're talking with Berrien County Sheriff Chuck Heit. I'm Ken Lundberg. Mike Weibel's here with me. We'll be back in just a moment with some news headlines and more. It's WSJM.
Go to 27cash.com.
With our bad credit,
27cash.com is one of the largest personal loan networks. They can help people with any type of credit get up to $5,000, and cash can hit our bank account as soon as tomorrow.
When you need extra cash, go to 27cash.com. That's 27cash.com. 27cash.com.
WSJM News Now. Team coverage from the WSJM Newsroom on News Talk Sports 94.9 WSJM.
It's the WSJM Morning Show. Good morning. I'm Ken Lundberg, 7:05 a.m., and it is Monday, July 28th, my wife's birthday, by the way.
Happy birthday, Stephanie.
Yeah, happy birthday, Stephanie. So we will enjoy more of that later on. I'll give you a full update maybe on Friday of the week's activities.
Oh. Yeah. So is it a week of birthday?
I think it's a month.
It's usually a month.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. It's birthday month.
Kind of committed.
Sheriff's got my
down,
back here. Yeah. Okay. All right. Sheriff Chuck Heit is here as well. Berrien County Sheriff Chuck Heit. So good morning, and we'll be talking with him in just a moment about some updates to the Berrien County Offender Management System. We'll talk about that, and also a cool machine gun story And the one that was, well, it wasn't cool when it was first gathered, for sure. But now it is cool because it's going to be able to be seen by a lot more people. So we'll talk about that and more in just a couple of minutes. We've got to get some local news through in just a moment, and then sports as well. But we'll have the whole conversation with Berrien County Sheriff Chuck Heit here on the video live stream, in addition to most of it on the radio. All right, weather-wise, heat advisory will be in effect from 1 o'clock this afternoon until 9 o'clock. What do you need to know? It's going to get hot. High of 93, a heat index because of the humidity around 100 degrees in the hottest areas of southwest Michigan. Partly cloudy skies, otherwise a 20% chance of showers and light wind out of the southwest. Tonight's forecast, partly cloudy, a slight chance of a shower, low overnight around 73. We'll keep the heat and humidity tomorrow, partly cloudy, a chance of showers, hot and humid on Tuesday. The heat index near 100 degrees again. Wednesday, we could be cooling down a bit. Partly cloudy, a 40% chance of showers and storms, and a low around 72. The high only getting up to 82 degrees on Wednesday. Let's hope that holds. And then highs in the upper 70s for the remainder of the weekdays, Thursday and Friday and Saturday, as a matter of fact. Okay, some of the local news that we're following. The South Haven City Council has voted to continue supporting Market One and the work it does to encourage economic development in that region for another year. At their meeting last week, Market One Director Zach Morris led a presentation for the council, laying out the organization's successes from past years and its goals for the coming years. He said since 2016, Market One has helped create 1,284 jobs in Cass and Van Buren counties, representing more than $2 billion in capital investment. He says they've also secured $34 million in grants.
Includes the work we've done on high-speed internet. This has been work we've done individually with businesses, to help them secure money to support implementing Industry 4.0, to training dollars, to supporting downtowns, parks, housing.
Morris said the region is not without challenges, however.
The electric grid is not stable, and we all should be very concerned about the future ever with data centers. Data centers are absolute energy hogs, and I get calls all the time from developers asking for a minimum of 150 megawatts. Nuclear plant down the road's 800.
Yeah, that's perspective.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, energy hogs. I always thought they were happy-go-lucky kind of things. Data centers.
So much.
All right, fine. Morris said another major challenge for South Haven is a shortage of affordable housing, which prevents younger workers from moving to the area. Market One currently working with 2 developers interested in creating new housing, mostly in Covert and South Haven Township areas, because space is lacking in the city. Morris said upcoming projects planned by Market One are expected to create a couple hundred jobs, retain 500 jobs, and generate $73 million in economic impact. Berrien County, the Region 4 Area Agency on Aging, is setting its sights on making improvements to services in the year ahead as they see the population of older adults in Southwest Michigan growing. Speaking to the Berrien County Board of Commissioners, the agency's Amanda Drew presented its 2026 annual plan, which includes guiding the agency and influencing state and federal policy. Drew said there are challenges ahead.
The current climate of proposed policy changes and funding reductions poses significant risk to essential programs supporting older adults, informal caregivers, and direct care workers.
Drew said the shortage of care workers is also a concern. However, she said the agency has many goals for next year, which include providing more services for those with dementia.
Continued development of the Direct Care Workforce Coalition, implementation of dementia education opportunities for specific sectors, including first responders, businesses, and volunteers. Dementia Friends workshops throughout all 3 counties. If you have not gone to one, we would encourage you to attend a Dementia Friend workshop.
Drew said goals include expanding dementia education, seeking grants, improving home caregiver management, and hosting community conversations. They're also planning a marketing campaign to highlight the work done by caregivers. Heading into 2026, she said the Area Agency on Aging's work becomes all the more important because about a third of all residents in Berrien, Cass, and Van Buren counties are over the age of 60, and the population overall continues aging. And finally, the Berrien County Board of Commissioners appears to be taking a pass on a resolution stating its support for the Michigan Department of Transportation's plans to reconstruct Main Street in downtown St. Joseph in 2027. As we've reported, commissioners were asked to approve the resolution this month after hearing an MDOT presentation on the project. While not necessarily opposed to the idea of rebuilding the street, some members of the board said they didn't want to set a precedent of officially supporting a construction project that is not the county's. They said the Main Street rebuild is strictly a state and city project, and Berrien County Road Department doesn't have a piece in that pie. The resolution was initially on the agenda for Thursday's board meeting, but prior to the vote, the resolution was removed from the agenda. No comment on the matter. There's still the possibility the matter could come up at a future meeting. That's a look at some of the local news that we have in the WSJM newsroom. We have more coming up in just a couple of moments. We're going to start our conversation right now with Berrien County Sheriff Chuck Heit, and then we'll get to some sports. But first off, welcome again to the WSJM studios, Berrien County Sheriff Chuck Heit.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. We talked just a couple of moments ago on the video live stream. You started off talking about the OMS, the Offender Management System for Berrien County. And just a little bit of context, Berrien County has a whole slew of websites, ranging from everything from you're able to see the agendas of the Berrien County Commissioners to the cams at Silver Beach in the summertime. And the number 2 during the summertime most visited website for Berrien County is the Offender Management System, right? For Berrien County Jail. Who's in there?
Yes, we call it the inmate search.
Inmate search, and I'm sure you bump up to number 1 during the wintertime when the Silver Beach cam.
Check, I'm not sure about that. But I imagine that's a good possibility.
If the beach cam's turned off, I'm thinking you're number 1.
Yeah.
But tell us a little bit the inmate search. Why is it there, and what is its current state?
So we've had it, for a long time, ever since the company that does ours, it's called Viapath now, that does our basic jail management system. As you mentioned, we call it the Offender Management System.
Okay.
And it's been around. A couple months ago, we had an issue where they upgraded to theirs. Ours was a system that was developed internally that worked for a long time, but then it stopped showing some of the things like the charge and the bond and specific information. So we worked with Viapath to transition to their system, but also finding it's very important. We heard locally from people that to be able to search by date. So theirs is a search by name. It's a pretty easy search. You don't have to have the entire name. You can start even just with the first initial.
Yep.
But we found that people really use also the search by date. So we still have both features available. If you go to the date, find the name, but then go back to the search that's on there. That's the one that will give you the most information. One, it's transparent, but 2, for us, it gives information that keeps people from needing to call the jail, call the phone number to find out information. It gives the bond, the charge, different things about it. And even the mugshot is now there, which we've heard positive response from that. We do have a disclaimer at the very top that a charge is merely an accusation. People are innocent until proven guilty. So but are charged and lodged at the jail. So it is something from a transparent standpoint that a lot of people, obviously by the number of people that go to that tool, it's something people do often.
You should sell advertising and little banner space.
No.
All right, fine. I'm hearing website hits. I'm thinking, you got visibility there. Let's put an ad there.
WSJM.
Yeah, maybe we could do that. Yeah. No. But so I mean, thank you for the transparency. We appreciate it. I mean, because you've got what's the rolling total? Would you say average of people in the Berrien County Jail on any given day?
So we're right now, our average daily population is down a little bit. Our capacity is 341. We've been averaging around 300. Okay. So it's been the high 290, in the 290s to 307. So it has been down a little bit from what our capacity is. Yeah. So
and it's important not only to know who's in the jail, but also what they're charged with, and so that's what this inmate search, the offender management system, and its public transparency is there for. So we appreciate you bringing that forward. And so will it continue to be modified over the coming months, or I mean, is this what we have now?
Yeah. So the one that we've asked Viapath is with that date search, we'd like that incorporated into the, now you have basically 2 separate ways of getting to it.
Right.
So we'd like that to be, one, but for right now, we found that a lot of people felt that ability to search by date was very important. So we've kept that, working with them to be able to move that into their system as well.
Excellent. Well, thank you for doing that. We appreciate the update on that. We talked about it here on the morning show, and Sheriff Heit was acting on it then, and he's acted on it now. So if you want to take a look at it, what I usually do is just go to my favorite search engine, Google, and just type in Berrien County Jail, and you can get to it right there.
look up Ken Lundberg to see if he's
It's not in there. I looked just in case.
At least not this morning.
Yeah. Hey now.
Take
Hey
that
now. All right. Sheriff Heit, you made a trip last week with a machine gun. So we'll talk about that here on the video live stream in just a moment. But we've got to get to some sports. So let's see. Dave Wolf is out today. So we have the latest from Michigan News Network. We have that right now on WSJM, and we're continuing the conversation on the video live stream.
Sports.
Back on the video live stream, we're here with Sheriff Chuck Heit, Berrien County Sheriff Chuck Heit, and we were talking a moment ago about the offender management system. Again, thanks for the update on that. We appreciate that. So last week, tell people where you were and why you had a machine gun with you.
So, as some of you may know, we had the two Thompson submachine guns that were proven to be used in the St. Valentine's Day Massacre. So, unfortunately, the way we acquired them was 10 months after the massacre. Officer Charles Skelly from the St. Joe Police Department was shot and killed by Fred Burke, and a search of his house unveiled those two guns, several other guns, bank bonds from bank robberies he did back then. And then they were proven to be used by Dr. Calvin Goddard, who basically started the technology we still use today with forensics on the bullets and casings and how those are done. So we've had those in our possession for several years. I think it's about 14 now. The Mob Museum has paid to have us on Valentine's Day bring the two guns out. We did work out a memorandum of understanding. There's gonna be one that's gonna stay, which is what happened last week. The unveiling was on a Wednesday.
Okay.
That will be there permanently for a while. So, they do a lot about not just the mob and organized crime, but also law enforcement of that area. So it's a good opportunity for those to be seen. One of the questions we got a lot when going out there and for where are they at the rest of the year. So they'll be able to be, seen. Like I said, it's an unfortunate incident how it happened, but it's history. It's a big part of history of that era. And they've got a lot of the wall rebuilt and a lot of other artifacts. So it's the right place for that to be displayed and seen, by the public.
I've not been here. What would you describe for those who haven't seen this? What is this location?
So the Mob Museum it's a museum. It's a natural museum of law enforcement and organized crime. So if you've never been there, it's worth a visit. It's several floors of both law enforcement and organized crime of that era. And obviously, one of the big factors of that is obviously Al Capone. And, part of that is the St. Valentine's Day Massacre, even though no one was ever charged, in that event. What we do know is 10 months later that Fred Burke possessed the two Thompson submachine guns that were used in that event in 1929.
Okay. This is the one out in Vegas.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it's in what they call the old town, the older part of Vegas, but so it's a former federal court building. So it's a pretty neat building they used that they turned into the museum several years ago.
What does the display look like where they have this now?
So they did put it in, one thing we kind of worked on is to make sure obviously it's secure. So it's in a glass, very nice glass case, that can be viewed. The other thing they did put next to it was a nice in memory of Lieutenant Mike Klein. So Mike, for many years, when he worked at the sheriff's office and even after retiring, did a lot of the presentations. He did a lot of the history behind it. So it was nice for them to honor Mike in that way, for his past work with that. So it was nice to see.
Okay. Bulletproof glass?
Yeah, it's pretty secure.
I
didn't test it.
Good.
Probably we have a good insurance policy on it. So but it's the right place for it to be seen. They've got a lot of the history there. They've done a lot of research and obviously adding to that as well. So
45 caliber. I can't imagine. I mean, because a 45 caliber, you think about it. I guess in the rifle situation, it'd probably be easier to handle than a pistol, because typically a 45 caliber is what you find with firearms these days.
So they're very heavy. The gun itself, because when it was manufactured back then, it was made for actually trench warfare. Unfortunately, when Mr. Thompson tried to get it ready for World War I, but it wasn't. There's many modifications made to it, since then. But if you take a 50 or 100 round drum magazine full of 45, it's a heavy gun.
Yeah, that's substantial.
It was interesting back then. It was actually sold in the Sears Roebuck catalog.
Oh man,
that's why they went out of business, because they stopped selling Tommy guns.
Didn't have a lot of them because it was close to the cost of a police car at the time. So, but the, kind of mobsters could afford that. And that was kind of a firearm that they used.
Yeah.
But originally it was meant for, the military, for trench warfare.
Wow. Fascinating. Hold for just a moment. We'll be right back. We're talking with Berrien County Sheriff Chuck Heit. It's the WSJM Morning Show.
And hot with a high of 90, feel like temperatures again near 100. I'm Chief Meteorologist Carrie Peugeot.
The Morning Show with Ken Lundberg on WSJM.
720 WSJM Morning Show continues. Good morning. I'm Ken Lundberg. Yeah, some lightning out there, some rain. 74 degrees right now in Benton Harbor, 75 degrees in St. Joe. And let's see, Buchanan looks like you can expect heavy rain in the next hour. It's still raining in Niles at this point, and some lightning going on out there. As we've mentioned in the news this morning, authorities have charged a suspect in Traverse City with terrorism and assault with intent to murder after a weekend knife attack at a Walmart store. 11 people were stabbed Saturday. All are expected to survive, and they have one person in custody for it, Bradford Gilley of Afton, Michigan, in custody for the alleged crime. Investigators say there's no known motive, and the victims of the attack appear random. A Grand Traverse County Sheriff's deputy was near the location and arrived 3 minutes after the initial call. And when law enforcement arrived, multiple citizens, including one who was armed with a firearm, were confronting the male suspect in the parking lot, preventing him from leaving or from harming anyone else. The deputy then took the suspect into custody without further incident. The sheriff's office says the suspect has a history of assault as well as controlled substance violations. And our special guest in the studio this morning is Berrien County Sheriff Chuck Heit. We thought since this was in the news this morning, we might ask you a question or two about, you never know what you're going to face when you're in law enforcement. And the story coming out of Traverse City this weekend, shocking. And clearly we're glad that everyone is expected to survive that attack and that the suspect is in custody. But 3 minutes to get to a crime scene, that's pretty incredible.
Yeah. And obviously when you get that call, your adrenaline kind of goes up. You don't know exactly what you're going to face when you get there. As you mentioned, it appears that some citizens helped, which we greatly appreciate. Especially one that was able to detain him until law enforcement got there. So, we're praying that, like you said, it's presumed right now everybody is going to make it. But, why those happen, they'll be doing a lot of investigation at this point into why and maybe ties to why that happened.
Yeah. And the terrorism charge was interesting. The prosecutor saying along the lines of she was filing that because it was a crime against a community, a shock to an entire community, and it wasn't just an isolated type incident. So,
and with multiple victims, that would play in it. Like I said, they'll do a lot of investigation into the motive now.
Yeah. And I didn't prep you in advance on this, but one of the things that happened recently in Berrien County in Niles Township was a shooting involving a law enforcement officer, and the law enforcement officer, thankfully, he reacted quickly in a situation that just all of a sudden went down the wrong road. And maybe you could give just a little bit of a background on what that situation was.
So Deputy Landon had approached a vehicle that was parked on the side of the road. The two subjects, a male and female, were outside of it on private property, kind of looking around. So he made contact with them, asked for identification. The male subject had said he thought it was in the car, started to walk towards the car, and then took off on foot. So Deputy Landon pursued him on foot. They got into a park area where the male suspect, it kind of acted like he was giving up and only would show one hand. And, we're trained, hands are what can kill you. So we're very particular on where the hands are. That's where I always ask for hands. Deputy Landon did a fantastic job. He had his taser out and had to transition because the suspect actually then raised a firearm and shot at least 2 times at Deputy Landon. And then he returned fire. So he did a great job. It's a testament to him, but also a testament to the training that's provided. So to our firearms instructors and use of force instructors, I'm very thankful for that too, in the training.
Yeah.
And I thank the county commissioners, because training is not cheap. So we invest a lot in training when it comes to funding and time to do that. So in this case, it showed, like I said, a testament to Deputy Landon himself, but also the training that we provide.
Well, and kudos to you for making that a requirement, because I mean and words fall short of describing what it looked like in real time. And as part of your investigation, you released the video to the public to show what your law enforcement officers, in part to show what they face every day. And this suspect, he wheeled, so he was pretending as if he was surrendering. He was raising one hand, obscuring his other hand as he was reaching down into his sock or ankle, or something was happening there. Maybe his back. I don't know. He was reaching for a firearm, and then he wheeled around, pointed directly, point blank at the officer, and started firing, or was going to fire. Right?
He did fire.
He did fire.
So I say, by the grace of God, Deputy Landon wasn't hit. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
How it was pretty close range, but
yeah.
It's evident from the video that he did fire at least 2 times.
At least 2 times. Yeah. Okay.
So.
And so the training of the deputy and his clear thought. He'd only been on the job for what, 2 years?
2 years into this month.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's great. How's he doing?
Good. I mean, obviously there's the part of we're thankful that he did not get hurt, but then also dealing with that as well. I mean, he did the right thing, but it can still be difficult, for an officer to have to do that. So
yeah, our thoughts and prayers and appreciation to him, because I mean, clearly you had a dangerous individual taken off the streets.
Yeah. And one reason you mentioned the video that we got that out quickly, that video was about as clear as can be of exactly what happened. Sometimes body worn camera, if there's a use of force and you're wrestling around or whatever, it can get knocked off or whatever else. But that was very clear. I don't think words can describe any better than what the video showed happened. And we're just thankful that Deputy Landon was not hurt.
Yeah. Very good. All right. It's a WSJM morning show, 727. We're talking with a special guest this morning, Berrien County Sheriff Chuck Heit. You got a couple more minutes?
Sure.
Couple more minutes. We'll hang you for a couple more minutes, and we'll come right back on the video live stream. But we appreciate you and everything that the Berrien County Sheriff's Office does, and law enforcement and first responders overall. 727.
Brick by brick, your new.
Here on the video live stream, we can wrap this up here. I just wanted to see if there was anything else that you wanted to mention or address while we're on the video live stream here.
Unless you think Silver Beach, knock on wood, has been pretty good lately.
Yeah.
Quiet,
So
right?
talk a little bit about the Silver Beach. So just so folks know, Silver Beach is in St. Joe, but it's a county park.
Yes.
And so you have responsibility for safety, public safety there.
Yes. But we have a great relationship with St. Joe Department of Public Safety. So it is in the city. They're always, with their resources, will help in any way. And they'll take complaints there too. I mean, if we don't have a deputy available, like during an off season or whatever, we don't have deputies assigned there. But we have a great working relationship with the Department of Public Safety in St. Joe.
What's the situation been down there? It seems like it got off to, like, the first sunny day, people were rambunctious down there.
So for some reason, it seems like it happens a lot. Very early on in a warm day, and trying to predict, we knew going into it, trying to predict what that day is. One was on a Tuesday, one was on like a Sunday. So
Tuesday of all things.
You can't really, I guess, do that. But then, as we have staffing throughout the summer, we're very fortunate to have school resource officers that we can assign there. So there's 2 assigned there permanently in the summertime. So, and then I do really appreciate the county board looking at and taking quick action and changing the ordinance to give us some tools to be able to deal with some of the problems we see there.
Yeah. Basically, if people are misbehaving down there, you can charge them with trespassing and boot them from the parks for a year for the rest of the year.
So we can basically, make them leave. We would say evict them from there.
Yeah.
If they don't, then it gets into a trespassing issue. But like you mentioned, we can give them a trespass notice for 12 months. So hopefully that deters their tools. I mean, people will be people, and it's a beautiful park. What I've always said, and with Jill Adams, the park director, when you look at the number of hours and days of operation of Silver Beach Park and the couple small incidents we've had, it is still a beautiful place. My family went there yesterday. It was a beautiful beach day while I'm out mowing, but
so you got stuck with the home chores.
That's right. I get the outside duties.
Nice. And has marijuana been an issue down there at all?
So it's always an issue. I think it's an issue almost anywhere. You can go to a gas station, and now that it's legal, people, don't understand it's not legal to smoke it in public.
Yeah.
So that was actually added to that ordinance as well, because the ordinance was last updated in 2017 before marijuana was legalized.
Yeah.
So,
okay.
That is clearly in the ordinance as well with alcohol. So we've taken a 0 tolerance to alcohol on the beach. So,
Okay. So same thing goes for imbibing in marijuana or whatever you do.
yeah, it's not legal in public spaces. So
Yeah.
I
Okay.
think people either forget or ignore that.
All right.
So what do you do when you're driving down the road as a law enforcement officer and you can obviously smell with your windows up and air conditioning on that somebody is having a Jamaican moment in front of you?
Maybe it's a
That's
skunk.
interesting way
Maybe
to
somebody hit
describe
us.
Yeah.
So the interesting thing is our Supreme Court in Michigan decided that the odor of marijuana for a law enforcement officer is not enough to search or do that. For a canine, it still is, but
Oh, okay.
from a human scent, they basically have ruled that is not enough for an officer to
No kidding.
Stop. Like a
Well,
stop.
yeah, stop or search. So
Wow.
you where before you could, the odor of marijuana would be a probable cause to search, and they basically have said that from a human scent, that's not enough. Obviously, for canines, but the problem for us is our canines are not trained in marijuana anymore because it is legal. So there is a legal amount you can transport. You can't smoke it in public or do whatever, but now that it's legal, our dogs aren't trained to hit on that because it's a false sense of something that could be legal in the car, because they don't tell you what, they just tell you there's something in there that their nose is trained to detect.
That's fascinating.
It's created some issues for law enforcement for sure.
Yeah. What do you do with the dogs that are still in service that were trained for that?
So we had that. We still have one, our dog that's in the jail. That's obviously contraband. You cannot have marijuana in the jail.
Right.
So that's a pretty easy one.
Okay.
But what we did was we transitioned for any new dog that was trained. Marijuana is not one of the orders for detection.
You should have 2 barks instead of 1.
Yeah.
2 barks for pot.
If they
one.
can tell us what it was, that'd be different. But because they can't, we're kind of bound to not have that.
No, that makes sense. Okay, we got to get back on the air here. 1 second.
Ken and Friends on 94.9 WSJM.
See, if you miss the video live stream, you miss a lot. Mike asked a really good question about, hey, if you smell a Jamaican odor, what did you call it? A Jamaican party odor or something?
Jamaican minute.
Yeah, something. Anyway, if you smell marijuana, that's not enough for a primary offense.
No.
Or a primary search or something along that. Anyway, if you have legal questions about it, call your lawyer.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
But anyway, so if you miss that, you miss a lot. We've got it on the video live stream. Once again, we've got to get to a couple other news items, but we wanted to say thank you to Berrien County Sheriff Chuck Heit for joining us this morning. Thanks for coming by and
thanks for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. Come by anytime and spend some more time.
Very good.
We appreciate you.
Have a great day.
Yeah, absolutely. We've got a quick weather forecast, a look at the weather forecast for today. We do have a heat advisory in effect today from 1 o'clock until 9 o'clock 1 o'clock this afternoon till 9 o'clock this evening. Today, partly cloudy, a 20% chance of showers and storms, hot and humid. High around 93 and a heat index near 100 degrees. Southwest winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tonight's forecast, partly cloudy, a slight chance of a shower, a low around 73. And then tomorrow, Tuesday, partly cloudy, a 20% chance of showers, hot and humid, high around 90 degrees and a heat index near 100. We've got
how hot it is?
How hot is it, Mike Weibel?
It's so hot that the funeral processions are going through Dairy Queen on the way to the
Where do you get this?
I've got resources.
Give me one more. How hot is it outside, Mike Weibel?
It's so hot that I saw 2 trees fighting over a dog.
That's gross. All right, we've got more coming up. It's the WSJM Morning Show, 7:34.
ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. Another week of extreme weather across the country. Blisteringly hot temperatures expected in the eastern half of the country today. Showers and thunderstorms causing more than 1,000 flight cancellations on Sunday. Trade deal reached with the EU, 15% tariffs on all European goods coming into the United States. As photos of emaciated children circulate around the globe, Israel is now allowing more aid into Gaza. ABC's Jordana Miller is in Jerusalem.
It has always been a political decision to limit aid into the Gaza Strip, to look like Israel's not helping the enemy, if you will. But the Israeli army, at various levels, has fought this, right? They don't want the image that they are intentionally starving Gazans.
A man who's accused of walking into a Walmart in Traverse City, Michigan, and randomly stabbing 11 people will face terrorism and attempted murder charges today. The 11 victims are all expected to survive. This is ABC News.
WSJM News now. Team coverage from the WSJM newsroom on News Talk Sports 94.9 WSJM.
7:35 WSJM Morning Show continues. Good morning. I'm Ken Lundberg. Here with me is Mike Weibel. We want to say thank you again to Berrien County Sheriff Chuck Heit for coming in and joining us for a few minutes here on the WSJM Morning Show. If you missed any part of that, you can go back and check it. We'll have it on the video live stream on the archive. That is at WSJM's app, WSJM.com, Facebook, YouTube, you name it. That's where we are. Okay, what do we have coming up for news in just one? First off, it's hot outside.
Yeah.
How hot is it, Mike?
Man, it is so hot. On the way here, I bought a loaf of bread and it was toast by the time I got to the parking lot.
Oh, that's bad. All right. So coming up, news. Obviously, we have more jokes about the heat coming up from Mike Weibel, but news coming up at 8 o'clock this morning. Police believe they've located the body of a missing person in Matawan. Van Buren County Sheriff's Department says it was called several weeks ago about a missing person from that village. And on Friday, it announced a body was found in the area. They say they haven't made a positive ID as of yet, but they do believe it was the person they were looking for. They also say it's an isolated incident and there's no ongoing threat to public safety. We'll have more on that story. That's coming up. Also give you any updates we have on that suspect in Traverse City, the stabbing, 11 people sent to the hospital, and it sounds like all of them will survive. And then Berrien Springs, a Berrien Springs agricultural operation, also known as a farm, has been awarded a $175,000 grant from the state to help with an expansion project.
Nice.
So we've got all that and more coming up in our news just a little bit after 8 o'clock right here on WSJM. We've got more coming up. Sports from Dave Wolf after a look at state news. We're still on the video live stream. Okay, back on the video live stream. Thanks again to Berrien County Sheriff Chuck Heit. We appreciate him coming in. We'll have to have him back soon. Talk about more stuff.
What a tough job to be in law enforcement in the day in which we live.
Right? It is.
I mean, you think about, even like my question about driving behind a vehicle that obviously someone is smoking marijuana in, and you can't stop them. And I understand a police officer going up to a car and saying, hey, I smell marijuana and pulled you over. Somebody could say, well, that was a wrongful stop. But there are times where I'm driving down the road and I'm like, I've got air conditioning out of my car and it smells like someone's in my car smoking weed.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so obvious.
Yeah.
And yet you can't do anything.
Yeah. Yeah. And they have the vape pens and that kind of stuff. You don't know. Yeah. It's got to be a tough job.
Right.
Got to be a tough job. And you never know what you're going to run into. Like the Walmart thing. The deputy's 3 minutes away, cruising along, doing who knows what. And then all of a sudden he gets a call, hey, 11 people stabbed at the area Walmart.
Right.
And, well, where's the suspect? Well, he's in the parking lot.
Yeah. with people holding him down.
With people holding him down. So
crazy.
you don't know what kind of situation you're going to run into there. And like we talked about on the air earlier in the hour, the deputy who was just stopped because a couple of people appeared that they might be trespassing on private property. And the one suspect runs, finally stops, and then wheels around and starts firing at the officer.
Yeah.
And again, if you haven't seen the video, we have it up on WSJM. You have to search through some of the archive stories. The guy looked like he had some sort of training or had been watching too many cop movies because he wheeled around all in one motion and started firing at the deputy. That's just crazy.
Yeah.
Just crazy. And why?
Do they know why? Why was he running?
We should have asked.
Yeah.
Because I know that's part of the
do that.
investigation is like, well, you think immediately outstanding warrant or something like that, but you don't know until you find out. So we'll find out. It's a good question.
Yeah.
What else is going on? What else do we have in the news? We saw, let's see.
The naked man in Minnesota.
Talk about the naked man in Minnesota. We've kept people in suspense long enough.
They arrested a man at the Minnesota State House who broke in or snuck in somehow and stripped naked. And they
We're talking about the state capitol, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Stripped naked, and he was nonviolent.
This is Minnesota, not Michigan.
Right. When they found him, he said he was the governor.
When they found the
but-
naked guy in the state capitol,
Yeah.
when he was confronted,
Right.
not just because he was naked, but he's also thinking he's the governor.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So then they took him on Friday to the hospital. They deemed him not a threat to himself.
Okay.
Released him. And on Saturday, he went back to the state house.
Yeah.
Got back inside and was walking around naked.
But naked again.
Yeah. He's good at it. Whatever.
He's good at what? Getting into the state capitol?
Yeah.
Getting into his birthday suit.
Stripping down and sneaking through
That's
somewhere.
crazy.
Yeah.
That's something else.
And again, you got one call, Traverse City, where you're going because someone's being stabbed. And then you have an officer has another call because there's a naked guy walking around the state house.
I think I'd rather take the latter call.
Yeah.
I mean, you know.
But you got to be dealing with a difficult situation when you've got, you tackle him.
Yeah.
Hey, put your hands up. Well, maybe not. Put your hands down. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know where you go with that.
Not good.
Maybe there's like a apprehension foam you can shoot from a distance.
A clothing foam.
Something. Let's see. I saw over the weekend that the Brickyard, they held the Brickyard.
Yeah.
Let's see. Bubba Wallace became the first black driver to win a major race on Indianapolis Motor Speedway's 2.5 mile oval. They had a rain delay. They had 2 overtimes. There were concerns about race cars running out of fuel. Never a good thing when you're racing.
No.
And Kyle Larson, who's fast. So anyway, the Brickyard 400 this last weekend.
But hats off to Bubba
Wallace.
Bubba.
Yeah. 3rd NASCAR Cup victory of Wallace's career. Also his most significant.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, his first win at one of the series' 4 crown jewel races. We also had Bill, one of our faithful fans here. Bill placed in a RC race over the weekend.
Nice. Congratulations, Bill.
Yeah, so I saw that on Facebook. So congrats on your placement as well. What else do we have? Oh, I saw. When's the last time you went to the movie theater?
Oh, it's been a while.
Yeah, fantastic.
I just know Andrew Green's going for us, so we don't have to go.
That is true. Andrew Green from the WSJM newsroom. He does movie reviews, and he blistered. I Know What You Did Last Summer. I hope he went to go see the Fantastic Four this weekend. And supposedly they did fantastic at the box office. Variety reports they earned $118 million on their opening.
Wow.
Yeah, Fantastic Four.
That's more than Caitlin Clark's rookie card.
That's just in the U.S. Over.
That took a minute to get through, didn't it?
Caitlin Clark's rookie card went for $660,000. That's pretty good. The Fantastic Four, the global take was $218 million. See, that's why they make these movies for worldwide distribution. It's because they make a bunch of money. Let's see. Did you ever read the Fantastic Four comic books?
No.
Really?
No.
Oh, they were one of my favorite.
I was not a big comic book kid.
No, not so much. Sports.
Yeah.
Okay. I was into the comic books, and Fantastic Four was among my favorite. Why? I don't know. Maybe it's because I had 4 characters to choose from.
Oh, yeah.
Because you had Elastic Man, you had the Human Torch, you had what do they call him? The Thing.
Yeah.
Who's kind of looked like a rock that moves around, and then I don't what was the girl? Invisible Girl.
Right.
I think that was her superpower. She could turn invisible. So anyway, that was cool. But they finally put the film out. It does star Pedro Pascal, which is cool, and a whole bunch of other folks. And it made a bunch of money at the North America box office and around the world. $218 million take around the world. We watched on Friday night. Samuel was over, and he's into golf and tennis right now.
Yes.
And he was in a tournament last week in tennis and won a couple of his matches, lost a couple of his matches, did very well. Very proud of him. But he's also into golf. And so we watched Happy Gilmore 2.
Oh, yeah.
Which, did you watch Happy Gilmore?
I have not. Not 2. I've watched Happy Gilmore.
Okay, so you've seen Happy. Okay, so if you have Netflix, I think it's on Netflix, you have to watch Happy Gilmore 2.
Yeah.
It's on, and I really enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun. And he has a lot of his kids in it. And his wife.
The kids at my house watched it.
And his grandma.
And I went to bed.
You had enough of them?
Yeah. That was a long day.
Did they give you any feedback on it? They tell you
They said it was great.
Yeah, it was really good. It was a lot. So if you're a Happy Gilmore fan, you won't be disappointed by Happy Gilmore 2. And Shooter's in it. So, all right, we continue on the WSJM Morning Show. Moody on the Market update coming up.
And humid today. There's a slight chance of a few showers off and on, but really the heat and humidity will be the biggest factor. 93 for the high. Feel like temperatures near 100. As we head into tonight, couple of showers. We drop down to 73. And tomorrow, a few showers and thunderstorms. Otherwise sunny and hot with a high of 90. Feel like temperatures again near 100. I'm Chief Meteorologist Carrie Peugeot.
The Morning Show with Ken and Friends on 94.9 WSJM.
It's 7:45. WSJM Morning Show continues on your Monday, July 28th. Happy birthday to my wife, Stephanie. We're going to have fun. Should I take the rest of the day off?
I think you should.
I think I should too. We got a couple of mandatory meetings later on today. I got to be on. Mandatory meetings. Let's do our Moody on the Market update. It's brought to you by Insurance Management Service. Call IMS today, your local auto owner's insurance agency in St. Joseph and in Niles. And one of the articles we have posted right now at moodyonthemarket.com talking about that project, 400 Riverview. Apparently, the project itself has stumbled, and the bank building, you'll recognize it if you look at the pictures, is for sale again. It's been 2.5 years since Moody on the Market told you about plans by 3 locally based investors to redevelop the former Chase Bank headquarters at 400 Riverview Drive in Benton Harbor. The 4-story brick and glass structure stands as a mid-century modern monument to the 1970s. Its parking lot adjacent to the equally impressive North American headquarters of Whirlpool Corporation just down the block. The only problem, it's still vacant, and now there's a new for sale sign out front. Yeah, after extensive demolition and interior cleanup work, there's been no development of the planned 4 condos or apartments, no 8,000 square foot restaurant on the main level, no overlook on the St. Joe River, no marina that they wanted to build there, boat docks and that kind of stuff. In short, the 400 Riverview Group appears to be dead in the water as far as that project goes in terms of their extensive and impressive plans to remake that high potential site. So we've got the full article there. It's on the market for $3.25 million, listed with Century 21 Real Estate. It's an iconic building. It's just sitting there right on the riverfront. But now they've got the big old, bigger than the Jersey barriers, this big cement block things.
Yeah.
Those are blocking the driveway, because it used to be that there was always somebody eating lunch there or somebody fishing on the banks. That was me. Going in there to do whatever. And now they've got it totally blocked off. There was a brand new real estate sign I saw as I drove by one day, and I went back a couple of days later to take a picture of that sign for this story.
Yeah.
And it had already been vandalized.
Oh, no.
The sign. Can't catch a break over there.
I'm telling you.
So if you want to read the full article, Gail Olson wrote through, took a look at it. I know he tried to contact a bunch of the folks who were involved with that. Didn't make a lot of progress, but we got what we could. And it's reported right there at moodyonthemarket.com. So if you want a business update on the 400 Riverview project, it is there. Your Moody on the Market update is brought to you by Insurance Management Service. Call IMS today. They are your local auto owner's insurance agency in St. Joseph and in Niles. We've got more coming up, including mosquitoes. You know you love them. It's coming up here on the WSJM Morning Show.
Rich Fran and Tara Halsey from a...
Oh, man. Yeah, mosquitoes are the bane of my existence. And I read an article the other day that said they appreciate certain blood types.
I've heard that.
Yeah, their evolution, however they've evolved, I guess they look for the biggest pack of blood, right? And that is O positive.
Oh, see, you know what?
What?
I'm O positive.
Same.
And they just, I mean,
they love you.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And so, I mean, we know a few things. We know that it's your breath that they zoom in on.
Yeah.
And something in your breath apparently tells them, hey, that's an O positive animal.
Something in your breath says buffet.
Buffet, go get it. All
right.
you can drink.
Ding, 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 ding.
No charge.
Right.
So there's that.
Smoothie King.
We also know that you can wear DEET.
Yeah.
And get rid of it that way.
Well, that's not. It can't be good for you.
The DEET.
Yeah. So we used to fish a lot when I lived in Florida. We would fish at night, go bass fishing at night, and obviously it's just
haven for mosquitoes. Yeah.
So you get the deep woods off.
Oh,
with
yeah.
DEET and spray your face, and your lips would be numb.
Oh.
Your nose is numb. I mean,
Well, you're not supposed to be snorting the stuff.
well, you got to do whatever you can. To,
You just spray it on your hands and then go like that. But
yes.
no, you're right. You're right. I mean, I worry about that, but I hate mosquitoes so much. I worry more about what they're giving me
Right.
than what DEET will give me.
Right. No, I get you.
Yeah. So, all right. So we'll talk about mosquitoes here in just a moment. One of my favorite topics, right next to ticks, here on the WSJM Morning Show. What?
right.
What? You good?
No, we
How
got,
hot is it out there?
and it's so hot. Today, when I was coming in, the little readout on my truck,
Yeah.
where it says the temperature outside,
Yeah.
it just said, "Are you kidding me?"
All right. Let's see if we can get a better one. All right. More in a moment. Hang on the WSJM
So
Morning
hot
Show.
outside.
It's the WSJM Morning Show. We're trying to keep you in good humor with some heat jokes. Go ahead. I cut you off.
No, I was just going to say it's so hot outside.
Yeah.
They said it was reported yesterday that the devil is actually going to confession, trying to get out.
Trying to get out of his heat.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Good luck with that. Thank you. Good morning. It's 7:51. I'm Ken Lundberg. Here with me is Mike Weibel. It's a Monday. It's a steamy Monday. As I look out the windows, I can't see out the windows because they're all fogged up.
They are.
Which raises another issue. But a national pest control company says 3 Michigan cities are among the nation's mosquito hotspots based on how customers requested treatment for insects that were pestering them. Orkin created the annual list based on a number of new residential mosquito treatments performed by the company through period in March 2025. And Los Angeles topped the list for most mosquito treatment calls. Chicago, which had been number 1 from the year before, was second place. Detroit ranked 5th on the list, behind New York City and Atlanta. Grand Rapids came in at number 25, and Flint came in at number 31. Yeah, so 3 Michigan cities on the list.
I saw this in the news over the weekend. They're in Hawaii. They're dropping thousands of mosquitoes out of drones because there's a bird that's near extinction that needs mosquitoes, and there's not enough.
Wait a second. So the bird needs to eat mosquitoes?
So they're dropping mosquitoes.
So they're feeding it mosquitoes.
Yeah, they're dropping mosquitoes in the air.
Oh.
However, these are not just any mosquitoes. They are non-biting, lab-reared male mosquitoes that have a bacteria that cause them not to be able to reproduce.
That can't go wrong, can it?
That's exactly what I was saying. That just sounds like a recipe for success.
Oh, boy. Mosquitoes are a major health threat, causing more than 600,000 malaria-related deaths each year. That's according to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. They also transmit other diseases, including West Nile virus, Eastern equine encephalitis, and our favorite, Zika.
Our favorite Zika.
Zika. Mosquito control isn't just about avoiding itchy bites. According to entomologist Frank Meek, he says it's also about safeguarding your health and your community. Proactive measures are key to controlling the seasonal surges in mosquito activity. Now, the nonprofit Michigan Mosquito Control Association, based in Bay City, says some scientists estimate between 500 and 700 million people actually get malaria each year worldwide because of mosquitoes.
Wow.
700 million. So far in 2025, no Michigan residents, no humans have contracted West Nile virus or any other mosquito-transmitted disease. Nothing reported as of yet. In 2024, 31 Michigan residents tested positive for West Nile virus, and 7 tested positive for Jamestown Canyon virus. West Nile virus has been detected in 6 Michigan counties, but no human transmission for 2025 as of yet.
Okay.
Let's see. We can't control the weather, but we can remove breeding sites, which is a big one. That's a big preventative measure. Obviously, you want to get rid of old tires because they collect water in their prime breeding grounds because they're nice and warm because of the sun and everything else. Wheelbarrows, dog bowls.
Yeah.
Apparently, if you don't change it out very often, that is a place where they do that. They say empty those vessels on a regular basis so you can get a leg up on limiting mosquito breeding. What else do we have? Oh, did you know Michigan is blessed with nearly 60 species of mosquitoes?
Really?
We have 60 different kinds of mosquitoes in here.
Mm.
60. That's according to Michigan State University. And they're roughly divided into two groups, the spring mosquitoes and the summer mosquitoes. They say the spring mosquitoes typically develop in the snowmelt pools and produce one generation a year. Summer mosquitoes are opportunists that produce multiple generations during the summer as long as there's enough standing water for their larvae to develop in.
And they're bigger. Summer mosquitoes are bigger than the spring mosquitoes.
Yeah, can't they lift like a Pinto or one of those old
Yeah.
gremlins or something like that? So anyway.
Well, they say it's so hot outside that the mosquitoes are no longer breeding in the tires.
Yeah.
They're going to drive-throughs and doing slushy cups.
Very nice. They're breeding in slushy cups now. That's not true. All right, we'll be back with more in just a moment. It's the WSJM Morning Show.
Get in and get away with huge savings at Signature.
That's good. Slushy cups.
Slushy cups.
Slushy cups. Stephanie wants a slushy. I don't know if we're going to do slushies tonight or ice cream. It's up to her. She already requested ice cream, so we might do that. I think we'll do that.
Go ice cream.
Yeah, ice cream's pretty good.
Now, would you just buy ice cream, or do you go to Sherman's, or what do you do?
We just go down the street to Dairy Corner. Yeah, Dairy Corner. Because it's a nice walk, so we feel justified in enough exercise to support an ice cream cone.
Walk it off. Right?
Oh, yeah, that doesn't actually work out, but yeah, so we just do that. I have traditionally done the milkshakes or the Frosties or whatever they're called, either or. And my favorite milkshake is typically a peanut butter milkshake.
Really?
Yeah, I like. For some reason, I just really like peanut butter milkshakes.
Huh,
yeah,
odd.
But what do you mean it's odd?
I'm just saying.
What's your favorite milkshake? Do you like milkshakes?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'd probably say chocolate.
My milkshake's better than yours.
Does it bring all the boys to the yard?
You know the song. Okay.
So when I was a kid, we used to go to Ludington with my cousins, aunt and uncle. They'd go up there. And they would take me along, and we would go to the House of Flavors.
Oh, I've never been.
House of Flavors makes their own ice cream. They have their own little factory up there and stuff
Yum.
like that. And they used to, and of course, this is when I was probably 14, 13, whatever.
Yeah.
But they used to have what they called a pig's dinner, which was a wooden trough that they had 4 scoops of ice cream in. And then you could get a super pig's dinner, which was 7 scoops of ice cream.
7?
7. And then you would get a pin that says, "I was a pig at the House of Flavors."
Oh my gosh.
And I used to collect the pins.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, great.
All right, back with more from the pig trough in just a moment. It's the WSJM Morning Show.
We'll take your website from bad to rad. That's funny. Anyway, you buy blocks of time. With just one block, Websticks can add a search button or update a logo. Little things that make a huge difference. Find out more at websticks.com. That's websticks with an X.com.
Stunning sights, more clicks, web support from Websticks.
From the Pat Moody Studios, this is WSJM FM Benton Harbor, St. Joseph, a product of Midwest Family Marketing and Media. Proudly serving our community. The Morning Show with Ken Lundberg on WSJM.
7:58 on your Monday, July 28th. I'm Ken Lundberg. Here with me is Mike Weibel. It's been a busy hour to start off a great week, hot week. We enjoyed hearing from Berrien County Sheriff Chuck Heit. He was in the studios earlier this morning talking about a whole bunch of stuff. So if you missed it, go back and watch on the video live stream. Heat advisory will be in effect from 1 o'clock this afternoon until 9 o'clock. Today's forecast does call for partly cloudy skies. We've got that chance of rain, showers, and storms. We haven't seen or experienced much in St. Joe or Benton Harbor this morning as far as rainfall goes.
Right.
I mean, it's pretty darn moist out there. I kid you not. But down in Niles, South County, and Buchanan, they've had torrential rain and some lightning storms.
Yeah, the sheriff said on the way here, he ran through some rain. So
yeah, up from New Buffalo.
Yeah.
All right, tonight's forecast, partly cloudy, slight chance of a shower, winds light out of the west, 5 to 10 miles per hour. And we do have the Detroit Tigers. They'll play the Arizona Diamondbacks at 6:40 this evening. They'll be at Comerica Park. Let's hope they continue their win streak. They defeated the Toronto Blue Jays yesterday 10-4. Chicago Cubs, they beat the Chicago White Sox 5-4. We've got more sports coming up in just a few moments. Dave Wolf is out, but we'll have the latest sports from Michigan News Network. We also have our local news. That's coming up in just a few moments, right after a visit with ABC News for the latest world and national. Good morning. It's 8 o'clock. We'll be right back.
From ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston.